Hey guys, here to do a review for Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Alright, so, those of you that may have been following me for a while probably know that I did a review for this back when the movie was in theaters and I went and saw it. Because I actually went and saw this the day it came out, in the morning. But I had to take the review down. So this is me kind of doing it again. So it's going to be a little bit more haphazard-like. But this is my review for it, so I hope you enjoy it. Obviously, this is now after the movie's been out on DVD. I've seen this movie. I saw it 3 times in the theater, 1 time at home, so we'll say I've watched it 4 times. And some of the stuff that I said in the old one, it will still ring true in this one. I love The Force Awakens. Since it being in theaters and everything, I've watched a lot of people on YouTube talk about what they thought and their opinions on it. And I like the fact that it follows a lot of similar beats as A New Hope. I feel like that is a natural progression of... Sorry about that. Woo. I feel like that is a natural progression of the Star Wars universe. That doesn't bother me at all. It just doesn't. By far, the first thing I'll say is my favorite thing coming out of this movie was Rey. Daisy Ridley did such a fantastic job in that role, and she by far is my favorite thing in the film. I fell in love with her character. There's just nothing else that I could say. I mean, she was the one that it made me feel something. I can't wait to see what they do with her character in episode 8. I mean, that's really how I feel. Finn, John Boyega was fantastic as this character. I didn't really know anything about him before the movie, so this was my first experience with him, and he did such a fantastic job. Oh my God, just such a different take on a stormtrooper. And just like Rey, just like Daisy did with Rey, he gave Finn such a powerful feeling about him and story, just that essence, and just my props definitely go to both of them for what they did with their respective characters. And then we got Poe. Did not know anything about Oscar Isaac either going into this movie. I feel like as a movie film watcher, I probably should have, but I didn't. My only complaint with Poe is that I wanted to see him more, and even what we got was more than what they had initially planned. So, but I understand why he wasn't in there a lot, and for those reasons, I get it. It does. And it's because of those reasons that it doesn't bother me as much as it would, because I'm sure we'll get a lot more of him in episode 8, which I hope. But yeah, I loved Poe. I loved the dynamic between Poe and Finn, just like I enjoyed the dynamic between Finn and Rey. I thought both of their respective team-ups worked really, really well together. And then the last main new addition is Kylo Ren, Adam Driver. Oh my God, just I can't talk enough about him, even though he's probably my second favorite thing about this movie. It's probably, as far as the characters go, it's probably Rey, Kylo, Finn, and Poe. That's probably the list I would have to say. Rey and Kylo Ren, dude. I mean, this is spoilers, but if you haven't seen the movie at this point, well, then that's kind of your fault. No offense. But, something I really loved about what they did is, Ben killing his dad. I mean, that was such a huge part of the movie, and just being willing to do that, because for years in the books and the movies and everything, we've always seen characters struggle with turning to the dark side, but this is the first time that we've ever seen someone struggle with going to the light side. And that was such, I feel like, an ingenious move to make, and so interesting and cool. And, a lot of people say that because of what he did, that the character's unredeemable. But I gotta say, if they ever decide to make Kylo Ren revert back into Ben Solo, if they do it in the right way, and I'm gonna be particular about it, just like the stuff in the prequels, but if they do it in the right way, I'd be okay with that, because he could be one of these people that's like, hey, when your Jedi Masters are telling you Padawans, don't even play with that stuff, because look, I did, and I killed my dad, so, I guess we're kind of all in the same boat, whereas we just gotta wait and see what they do. Do I think they're gonna do that? No. I think Kylo Ren is gonna win out, and I think, unfortunately, Ben is gonna die a villain. But that's the way it kind of goes in Star Wars. But if they fool us all and they do something different, then that'd be really cool, and I'd be interested to see what that looks like. And if anybody can do it, it's Rian Johnson, and to see whether it happens, whether it happens in Ryan's film or it happens in Episode 9 with Colin directing. We'll just have to see what happens. And then seeing all of the old cast return was really, really nice and really, really neat. It was great seeing Leia and Han interact together. It's very clear what their relationship has been like, after going through everything that they've gone through, and it's heartbreaking. And especially after seeing the movie and knowing what happens, every time that I've watched it afterwards, that moment where right before Han is leaving and he holds Leia to his chest and she basically says, bring our son back, that just gives me chills every time I watch it. And it's just, that part makes me feel things that a lot of movies don't know how to convey, and they did it with such reverence, and because what's going to happen. And even though I've seen the movie, like I said, 4 times, it still holds the weight to it. And my hands absolutely go to a huge bow and applause to Harrison Ford as Han Solo, because not many actors can come back to a role years later and do what he did with Han Solo. And that's just the truth. But he's also a veteran, and he's also been doing this for a long time. So if anyone can do it, it's Harrison Ford, and he did it. And that last moment when the lightsaber is still in him, and he puts his hand on Ben's face, that everything he conveys in his face is so hard for a lot of actors to do, and he did it, to me, with what seems like ease. This movie is fantastic. I cannot wait for the next one to come out. By far, this movie is a 9 out of 10. I can't give it a 10 as much as I want to, but it's definitely a 9. I can't wait for Episode 8. I'm going to be right here waiting, and I'm going to be right here waiting for Rogue One. So, let me know what you guys thought about The Force Awakens, what you liked, what you didn't like, all that kind of stuff. Like the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Sorry about that. And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.